So some of y'all may see what I'm about to talk about, be like, well, this is not in Mac Bundle's normal wheelhouse here on this channel. Mac Bundles really only talk about games on the little channel. That's true. But, you know, in this case, I felt like it was appropriate for me to talk about. I don't even need to show gameplay or nothing. It's free. You could go play it yourself, figure all that shit out for yourself. We need to talk about this new Delta Force thing. The good, the bad, and I wouldn't say the ugly, I'd say the interesting. There's nothing really ugly about the game. It's a very good-looking game. It feels nice. The interesting is, it's almost like it would be a better game if it didn't try to attach the Delta Force name to it. Like, I feel it would be, when I play it, I feel like I'm playing a Battlefield 2042 clone. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm playing, if Ghost Recon went back to first person and tried to remake Future Soldier or try to remake Advanced Warfighter or any of that shit, that's what I'd be playing. The online does sort of have a vibe similar to Joint Ops Typhoon Rising. Like, it's a very similar feeling of, like, so many people involved in this shit that, like, you're like, damn, I didn't even see that guy who killed me. But at the same time, it's so much different because in Joint Ops, it was very, very... It was true to the time period. Like, there wasn't no thermal scan shit you could do or none of that. There wasn't no superpowers. Perks wasn't a thing in that shit. There was no... Was there even classes in... Yeah, there was. There was, like, loadouts. You could choose your gun and shit. But I don't even think there was dedicated classes for it. And the only reason I bring that game up and not, like, one of the actual Delta Force games is because it's the only one I have experience with online that's from that... runs on that system. And because I was too young for the original Delta Force Online. I was too young for that, and I was too young. Still, like, we didn't have good internet when Black Hawk Down came out. So, I never got to play that one online either. Actually, I might have played that one a couple times, but I vaguely remember. I used to play Joint Ops online religiously, though. And that's why I was like, it kind of reminded me of that, but not. It's one of them games, bro. And it's funny because this is like the one part where I could sort of link it to the original Delta Force, but not even. It's in like a weird roundabout ass way. Like, first off, I knew everything was fucked when I seen that the fucking logo for the shit. It says some other shit that's not Delta Force. I guess Delta said you can't do that. You cannot have our fucking logo. So the logo for it is basically a skewed version of this. Right? So, like, this is on the bottom and it forms a G. And it says, like, Global Initiative Task Force or some shit like that. Right? I was like, yeah, y'all couldn't do that, huh? They said you could name the game that, but we're not letting you use none of our trademarks, Mr. Tencent. I feel like they could have got away with it if they wasn't Chinese. I feel like they could have got away with it then. They said, no, we don't want you to show up on the battlefield where our guys are at. See that patch and be like, we know what that means. We know you're someone real important. Come with us real quick, sir. We got to put you in the back of this car and take you somewhere to see if they try to rescue you. Nah, but it's decent. Like, the gameplay, see, I'm a big fan. This is why we're getting at, is in it loops around to the original Delta Force in a weird roundabout ass way that don't even really make sense and don't even really relate to the original Delta Force. But the original Delta Force was known and still is known by people who, like, look at it. It's one of those games like Doom, the original Doom, where the HUD takes up half the screen and half the shit don't need to be here. Like, it tells you which direction the wind is blowing. Like, you don't need to know this shit. It has no real effect on the bullets in the game, to my knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's one of them games where, like, in this shit, it's not the HUD so much. It's so much shit pops up on the screen. It's like the game is filled with pop-ups that are not advertisements. Like, all of a sudden, you'll just see every enemy soldier eliminated because someone on your team, like, not eliminated, illuminated. Like, they'll just be on thermal because someone on your team deployed thermal. Like, so it's one of them games which usually I don't have a problem with, where there's so much going on the screen at once. I mean, some of y'all may know I kind of like these games where there's so much going on the screen at once that it's hard to keep track of. But it's one of those games where so much going on the screen at once that's hard to keep track of. Like you got shit going on the screen and you're like, I don't even know what this means. Like it'll say shit about like, what did it say? It said, did it say something about hallucinations? No, it said, what the fuck? It was like audio paralysis. Was something about hearing, like you couldn't hear, like you had a audio paralysis. And from what I'm seeing, it like didn't have much effect on the gameplay, what was going on. It had like a timer on it with a countdown. It was weird. It was weird. Like I was playing this and I was like, this feels like I'm playing something made by Tencent. This feels like Tencent. Why'd y'all have, like, see, and here's the thing. I've seen people like Big Fry and shit come out and be like, see, speaking of Big Fry, where's your game at? Where's your game at? You've been working on this game, you know, got a nice beginning, middle, and end to it. You know, where's your game at? Thought your game was supposed to be coming out soon. See, I'm an equal opportunity motherfucker. I beef with everybody. I don't care which lane you in. I don't care which lane you in. I don't care if you Mike Glover Extra. I don't care if you Big Fry TV. I don't care if you JD Delay. I don't care what you do on here. If you do something I don't like, I'm going to call you on it. And that's in my blood. That's in my DNA. As a Michigan nigga, I cannot let you talk some shit that is a goddamn lie and let you get away with it. I can't sit here as someone who used to live in Detroit, as someone who's born in Texas. I can't let you just tell me some shit and be like, yeah, I'm working on this game. And the game never come out. I was working on rap albums. They came out. They out. All 4 of them bitches. All 4 or 5 of them bitches is fucking out. I said they was going to be out. It was out. It was done. This is side mission. So yeah, like this game, this Delta Force, like it's fun, bro. Don't think I'm hating on it, but like I knew when I heard Tencent was involved, I said this is not gonna be what you want. This is gonna be some other shit. It might be good, but it's not gonna be Delta Force. I knew that when it wasn't no single player campaign plus the quick missions. You got like 4 single player campaigns, and then you got all the quick missions. Like I knew it, like when I knew it wasn't that for the single player, and they was just running with Black Hawk Down. I said, yeah. Then I heard Tencent was involved. I said, yeah, it's gonna be something. It's not gonna be no Delta Force though. They might call it that. It's not gonna be that though. Like verbatim, I think I even came on here and said it. Verbatim, literally. It's gonna be something. It's not gonna be no Delta Force though. It's not gonna be that. I might have said on my little account, because I know I did a Delta Force 2 review on my little account. So it might have been that. But I knew it wasn't gonna be as advertised. Pimp. Like it wasn't gonna be no Delta Force. They were gonna call it that, but it wasn't gonna be that. And that's what we got. Online feel kinda like a cheap version of Joint Ops Typhoon Rising. That's the best way I could explain it. If I had to compare it to anything Delta Force related, anything. I can't even say, because like I said, I ain't played it online for the original shit, but if I remember right, I think it maxed out like 64 players online. I know the Black Hawk Down maxed out 64 players online. The fucking, what's it called? The Typhoon Rising, I think maxed out 128. Anything else is going to be a downgrade from that. It kind of felt like Typhoon Rising with less of a vehicular, and I only played 1 match, but it felt like Typhoon Rising with more forgivability to it. Like, you can take mad hits in this shit and still be running around and just heal yourself if you're a medic. Like, so I just played the medic class the whole time. You got this cool little Uzi you running around with. It's got a stock on it and shit. It's kind of it's kind of like some shit someone would have put together using some shit from Cheaper Than Dirt. But it was cool. It worked. You know what I'm saying? It had a nice little burst to it. Got a little bit distance. You know, I had a long distance kill with this shit. It was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? The only figure I talk about is because people always be trying to get me to play free-to-play games when I'm on that bitch. So I'm talking about it. You know what I'm saying? That shit was not no Delta Force, bro. I don't know what that is. I would have said, call it some other shit, bro. Call it Global Defense Initiative. Is that what the shit was called? I forget what it was. Something initiative though, and I was like, y'all just ran with the shit from Command and Conquer and thought that was gonna be cool. Just make this into a G and call it some shit that sounds like it's related to Command and Conquer. Remember, I think it was Global Task Initiative or some shit. It was some shit where it was like close enough, but like not GDI. See what you did there. The army said no. You can't do that, China. It turned out better than I thought. I'll say that. And like I said, it kind of reminded me of the original Delta Force in this roundabout ass way, just because there's so much going on. Like, so much shit just pops up on your screen. It's like, if they could have done that when the original Delta Force game came out and had the fucking HUD that took up half the screen on top of it, they probably would have. Them motherfuckers who made that shit was definitely on something. I don't know what, but definitely on something. People don't give Delta Force and Delta Force 2 as much credit as it's deserved, because first-person shooters before those two games were not the way they are now. Those two games were like the first ones where it was like you could have massive 3D outdoor environments with interiors in them and shit. And like the way that the dude did it, like there's a whole video on it. I think Vice did a whole documentary on it actually, where the dude who did the fucking maps and shit, like it goes into detail about how what he did was like revolutionary at that time. But yeah, nah, it wasn't like that, bro. It wasn't no Delta Force, bro. You could call it that. It's something different, bro. I knew it was gonna be this too. When I heard all the details, I said, it's not gonna be no Delta Force. It might call itself that, but it's not gonna be that. And when I heard that the Black Hawk Down was the main single player, I said, yeah, no. I feel like I wouldn't have this like, it's not a negative viewpoint, but it's just like, it hurts the heart, bro. I feel like something was stolen from me. And it don't even cost no money. Like, it's not like I feel ripped off. Like, that's why I have to word it like that. I just feel like they swindled me somehow, even though there was no swindling that went on. Just the presentation of it looks swindled. Faber, I'm out there, bitch.